Hi, I'm Trish Preston, sewing pattern designer with Two Peas in a Pod Homegrown Designs. We all know that diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I think handbags would have to come in a close second. Who doesn't love a great handbag? To feed my obsession, I have taken the time to learn how to make great handbags, make one for every season to go with each outfit. But if you haven't made a handbag before, you might be a little apprehensive about it. Today, we're going to go over some tips and tricks and hopefully take some of the fear out of your next handbag. Today we're going to talk about interfacing, exactly what is it, how to use it. We'll talk about how to add a magnetic snap closure into one of your bags. We're also going to talk about embellishments, how to make a bag that's uniquely yours. You can take just a basic bag pattern and with a few simple added touches to it, really make it wow. So let's get started. Let's talk about interfacing. Interfacing is what gives a bag structure. When you take a look at the blue bag here or the gray bag, any of these, when you see them, they're standing upright, they've got structure, but yet there's still a nice soft look to them. What that is this fusible fleece interfacing. You buy this by the bolt. It comes with the manufacturer's instructions for how to apply this to your fabric, so don't worry if you don't remember from today. It'll come with your fabric when you get it. It's soft on one side, has glue on the other. You're going to press it to the wrong side of your fabric, and it's what's going to give it the structure. So it's super easy to use, but it's going to give it this great, soft, structured look. Let's move on to magnetic snaps. Our snaps look like this when they come out of the package. You've got each side, and then you also have these little discs. So if this was our fabric, you want to be sure you've got your interfacing on the back side. This is important because without it, you're going to tear through your fabric with that snap. It really needs to have that support behind there. So when we do this is the Trish way, by the way. I don't know how you guys all do it, but this is the fun way that I do it. I will take a marking pen and I actually use my disc as my pattern. So I'll start off laying that on my fabric, take my marking pen, and I mark where these little openings are here. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to make a cut in the fabric, but that cut's going to be fairly small. It's not going to be a big cut, just a tiny opening, because you don't want to go too big. It's going to tear that fabric. So you take your scissors and you're just going to get just a tiny hole right through the fabric and through the interfacing. Take your snap with these prongs. We're going to place it through here and then it's going to come through the other side. Super simple. Take your disc. You're going to place that over your prongs. Now this is the way that I do this. You might want to use a tool. It's up to you. Trish uses the side of her table. I have an old kitchen counter at my house. I actually use the side of my table and I press my prongs down like that and they're in. So one more time. The disc goes on the fabric. Line it up where it needs to go into your bag. Mark your markings using your disc as your little pattern. Take your scissors, a small cut. Don't do it too big. Again, you don't want to tear the fabric. Small cut. Take your piece, push your prongs right through there, and you can see it's a small cut. Disc over the top, and the Trish way, right onto the countertop. Okay, beautiful. And there, when you pull that together, you've got a snap. Easy. Super easy. You can do this. So after we've got that, let's talk about basic bag construction. Now, not all bag patterns are the same, but I will tell you that most of them follow the same basic instruction. I've got a basic tote here put together, and I want to show you how this will work. This is my lining, and I had this wrong side out to show you the interfacing. So the lining is essentially all put together here. I've got my snaps already inserted, have a pocket in here, and I've left an opening in the lining. Okay, this is important. Here's the exterior of my tote bag. I've embellished it, put a little tie on there. My straps are already on here. So the outside of my bag is right side out. This was the part that when I very first started making bags kind of confused me. I think my husband and I spent an hour reading over a pattern trying to figure out what on earth did they mean when they said to leave the lining wrong side out, the exterior right side out, and putting them one inside of the other. Took us a long time to figure this out. Once you get it, you've got it for life. you're good. So let me show you this. This is how it works for most bags. Lining, wrong side out. Exterior of the bag, right side out. The outside of the bag is going to go into the lining of the bag. This is totally going to make sense to you once you see this, because now the right sides of the fabrics are facing. That's what we need to have happen. So the lining and the exterior of the fabrics are facing. We want to line up our seams here along the side. Get your side seams together, and you're going to pin this all the way around. And what we're going to do is top stitch. Not really top stitch, we're going to stitch this together, I should say, all the way around the top. So we're pinning this together, and we're going to put this on our machine. You want to make sure that your straps are hanging down there straight. If your straps are askew and you sew over them like that, you're going to have crooked straps in the end. So just watch that. Another couple of hints I also want to point out too. When you are sewing handbags, because you're sewing through so many layers here, the layers of the fabric, the layers of the inner facing, it's a good idea to use a jeans needle on your sewing machine. I can't tell you how many times I've almost lost an eye when I've broken a needle because I was going through so many layers. So a jeans needle is a good idea when you're going through all these layers. You also want to put your stitch length at about a 3 to a 3.5, and the reason for that is because that needle is going through all these layers. You want to give your needle enough time to go through the layers and to come back up. So let's put this on our machine. Drop the foot here. And we're going to get going. And we're just going to keep going all the way around. And again, don't be afraid, it's a lot of layers, it's a lot of stuff to come through the machine, but just let your machine muscle through it. And come all the way around your bag here. Because we're getting to the best part, because at this point in your bag construction, you are almost done. So you gotta know the hard work is gonna pay off here. Almost around. There we go. Okay, and we'll lift our foot up here and pop our pins out. So, and like I said, a lot of bag patterns, this is the same kind of instruction as I throw pins across the room here. This is probably my favorite part, because as I tell my sewing students, this is where your bag is about to give birth. This is beautiful. So you're pulling through the lining. Your bag is coming through here, and you just keep turning this until you get it all the way back right side out. You want to pull everything out here, pull out your corners, check your seams, looking all the way around and making sure that you got everything caught the way it should be and nothing's showing. You're going to close up the lining here, stitch that closed, push your lining inside of your bag, and the nice finishing touch to this, and what's really important, is to be sure that you use your iron and press all the way around the top of your bag here, and then give it a nice top stitch. You'll love it. But what's even better is at the end of the day, when you get done with a bag, a basic bag pattern, is to add some embellishments to it. Beautiful things you can do. The gray bag here, I've done some a ruffle effect to it, and you can do that with a ruffler foot. If you don't have one, you can do it by hand. Put a basting stitch in, and you pull your strings, do it along both edges, and pull, and you'll start to get your gathers. So, and add that to your bag. Also love these beautiful flowers that you can do, all kinds of things here. You can see from this mustard colored one, a posy we've done here, and also rolled roses. This is great because not only can you add a pin to these, to add them to your purse, make them beautiful, but I also love to add them to hat for my little girl. You can put these, like this one here, you can see this rose, I've added a diamond to it. Again, diamonds are girls' best friend. Girls, we have to remember all these beautiful embellishments. The ribbons, the pearls, add them to a headband. These are so cute and you can use them in so many different ways. To make these posies, and you'll find the instructions for this on the website, so simple, but starting with a felt disc as your base there, you're going to take your fabric, cut into circles, and we're going to fold these into fourths. So you'll see I have a few of these are already done, but you're taking this, folding this into fourths, and with your felt disc you would have there, you're just going to start layering these. And as you start to layer these, you're going to get a cute little posy like this. These are great. So you also can do these rolled roses, these fabric roses. This pink one here is probably my all-time favorite. And these are just beautiful. And this is a strip of fabric that you're going to take and start to roll this. Now you can do this with stitching, or you can also do it with a hot glue gun. Literally twisting and rolling as you go to make these fabric roses. But again, instructions on the website, you'll love them. So embellishments are great for a bag. I don't want you to be afraid of making bags, girls, because it's beautiful. Add the buttons to them. These beautiful buttons you'll find on the tote bag here, layering buttons, so many things that you can do. So I'm sure that, I hope that this has taken the fear out of your next handbag that you make.